بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So inshallah we're moving on to الحكم التكليفي, basically we're explaining فرض, sunnah, mustahab, wajib, etc. So الفرض لغة هو التقدير. So فرض means to decrease something, to set something. So لغة in the Arabic language before Islam, the word فرض meant تقدير. And he says ومفروضات الشرع مقدراته. So then, what's the link between the linguistic meaning and the shari'i meaning? So he's saying that in Sharia, the mafrudat, things that have been made farad, they're called the mafrudat al-shar' بحيث لا يحتمل الزيادة والنقصان. In a way that it is not possible, you're not able to have more or less. It's fixed, set. The farad are set, you can't increase them, you can't decrease them. That's why they call farad. Yes? وفي الشرع, in the Sharia perspective, you call this ما ثبت بدليل قطعي لا شبهة فيه. And I explained before as well, you have قطعي الدلالة, قطعي الثبوت. قطعي الثبوت is where this established 100% no doubt in this. قطعي الدلالة, even the meaning is understood, there's no two ways of understanding the intended meaning. The thing as قطعي الدلالة, قطعي الثبوت is farad. And anybody rejects this as if they're rejecting the Prophet ﷺ saying something to them. وحكمه لزوم العمل به. You have to have لزوم العمل, do amal upon this. And number two, you have to have i'tiqad in this. If you reject it, you become a kafir. If you don't do amal upon this, kaslan, you're just lazy, then you say here, this is fisq. And if you say, I'm not doing upon this, like inadan, then that's also kufr. I mean, you're not Muslim because you're not accepting the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After this we have here, والوجوب هو السقوط يعني ما يسقط على العبد بلا اختيار منه. So the word wajaba yajibu means to fall. What comes in the Quran? فَإِذَا وَجَبَتْ جُنُوبُهَا. When you slaughter the camels and they fall on their side. So wajaba, to fall. And it means here, what has come upon, what has fallen upon the abd without any of his own ikhtiyar is called wajib. وَقِيلَ هُوَ مِنَ الْوَجْبَ. Now this word wajba min al-istirab, I can't find it in lugha. That wajba means istirab. I looked in a few, I looked in the Urdu dictionary, I looked in the Hanzway, I looked at other places. Maybe it's in the Lisan al-Arab, etc. But I couldn't find it in those places. But anyway, he says here, it's in the word wajba. And wajba means istirab. Okay? سُمِّيَ الْوَاجِبُ بِذَلِكَ مُسْتَرِبًا بَيْنَ الْفَرْضِ وَالنَّفْلِ. He's saying that it's called wajib because wajib is neither farad, neither nafil. It's a bit between the two of them. So mustarib means confusing. Yes? فصار فرضا في حق العمل. So how is it مسترب بين الفرض والنفل? It's فرضا في حق العمل حتى لا يجوز تركه.
You're speaking,
G.
we can hear it.
G, okay. Pause that thing. Okay, so we think it's called mustarib, it's istirab. So it's neither farad nor nafil. Because when it's farad in one way, how is it farad? You have to do amal upon this. If you leave it, you're sinful. If you leave it in misplace, you have to do qadha of it. So that way it resembles a farad. وَنَفْلًا is also nafil fi haqq al-i'tiqad. Meaning that if you, because الثبوت is from a dhanni dalil. It is kalam in this, but it's from a dhanni dalil. فَلَا يَلْزَمُنَا الْاعْتِقَادُ بِهِ جَزْمًا. So if something is not established by a qat'i dalil, qat'i thubut, qat'i dalala, it can be nafil. You can also have a nafil which is established qat'an. Like for example, like if for example there's a jawaz tabi qat'an. You get it? But he's saying here that if a person rejects it, it is not that level. But you can, if you reject even a mubah, which is from the Quran, if you say, well, it's not permissible to eat, so you become a kafir because Allah says, kulu washrabu. Are you following? So it's fi kalam, but that's what he's trying to say. That is, it has a bit of both elements. Yes? وفي الشرع, in the Shariah perspective, هو ما ثبت بدليل فيه شبهة. Yes? And shubha means, it's not qat, it doesn't mean, oh, we're not, it's like all mashkook, maybe we're not, like, this means here, it's not of the highest percent, we can't, it says like, there's a slight possibility of paraphrasing, slight possibility, but it's nothing to create, like, you can say it's a na'u shubha, but it's not such that creates doubt. كالآية المؤولة والصحيح الآحاد. The ayah has ta'wil, it's not meaning, it's what? قطعي الدلالة ظني الثبوت. Sorry, I said it wrong way. قطعي الثبوت ظني الدلالة. Or والصحيح الأحاديث خبر واحد. Following? وحكمه ما ذكرناه. And the ruling of this is what we mentioned before. That what? You have is what is فرض في حق الاعتقاد. No, sorry. فرض في حق العمل, نفل في حق الاعتقاد. After that we have the word sunnah. What do we have? Sunnah. والسنة عبارة عن الطريقة المسلوكة المرضية في باب الدين. So sunnah here means it's a name, or it's an expression of الطريقة المسلوكة المرضية في باب الدين. So remember sunnah, لغة before Islam, meant pathway, استنى به. And it can be good, bad. As we come من سنة سنة سيئة. So in Sharia, it says sunnah, it means a tariqah, which people tread upon, a way, a path, a method, and a way. And it's mardiyah, not a sunnah sayyah. في باب الدين, it has to be religious issues. If it's not religious issue, it's sunnah lughatan, but not sunnah shar'an. Whether from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam or from Sahaba. Fahim? So we say sunnah, like even today Imam Muhammad came here, or min sunani Umar, or hadith Umar. So they used to look at the aqwal of the Sahaba, the kibar of Sahaba, and their fatawa as sunnah, part of the way of the, like a dalil shari'i. So the Prophet's actions, the Sahaba's actions, they have ijma, or they have a unanimous majority to agree upon, is all sunnah. Fahim? قال عليه الصلاة والسلام عليكم بسنتي عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء من بعدي. So this is the dalil that why we say the Sahaba and their fi'l and their aqwal in certain majority of the context is the dalil. أدوا عليها النواجز, bite it, hold fast to it with your molars, like a dog. You know, a dog is biting a piece of cloth, it pulls it from the here, it's like it sticks, it doesn't come out. So hold fast to this sunnah of my sunnah and the sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidun. وحكمها أن يطالب المرء بإحيائها. So a person is he's asked to, he's should do ihya, meaning act upon it. ويستحق اللائمة بتركها. If he doesn't do amal upon this, he is mustahiq of الملامة. إلا أن يتركها بعذر. If he leaves it because of udhr, so okay, there's udhr here, fine. But if he doesn't leave, there's no udhr, he just leaves it, then he's mustahiq of ملامة. النفل عبارة عن الزيادة والغنيمة. Excess, extra, more. غنيمة, even the booty you get in war is called غنيمة. It's called nafl, sorry. يسألونك عن الأنفال. أنفال plural of نفل. Meaning the excess, what you get as booty. تسمى نفلا. This is called نفل لأنها زيادة على ما هو المقصود من الجهاد. The booty is called nafl because it's excess. It's not the original purpose of jihad. Jihad is to remove oppression, remove dhulm, to give people their justice and give them their freedom. So this is called, if you get booty, that's excess. That's not part of the asl maqsad. فهم؟ وفي الشرع عبارة عما هو زيادة على الفرائض والواجبات. And in the Sharia, it means here, anything with excess beyond, above the fara'id and the wajibat. وحكمه أن يثاب المرء على فعله ولا يعاقب بتركه. And the ruling of this is, if you do this nafil, you get reward for it. If you don't do it, you don't get any punishment, any sin, nothing, no mu'aqaba. والنفل والتطوع نظيران. النفل and tatawwu, these two words are used interchangeably. فهمت؟ Then we move on to two more rulings. It says azima and rukhsa. Azama ya azimu. If you say like in the dictionary لغة, azima means al-qasd, a firm intention. إذا كان في نهاية الوكادة, very firmly established, something very firmly established. وكادة like تأكيد, it's firm. ولهذا, again he's going to take a فرع to show the meaning of azima. قلنا أن العزم على الوطء عود في باب الظهار. So if you do dhihar, it came in Quran Jalalain. If you do dhihar, yes, how does the dhihar come to an end? Even azm al-wat is sufficient. Yes? لأنه كالموجود, because azm means a firm intent, I am going to do this. So فجاز أن يعتبر موجودا إن قيام الدلالة. As long as the dalil to show that qara'in, we say this is mu'tabar. فهم؟ ولهذا لو قال, if he says أعزم يكون حالفا, even القسم, باب القسم, if he says والله is a qasam, tallah is a qasam. But if he says أعزم أن أفعل كذا, in Arabic language, if you say this in Arabic, أعزم أن أفعل كذا, it's also a qasam. Because azam means, it's like a hilf, almost like certainty. Yes, that's what azima, it's like لغة what azima means. وفي الشرع, شرعا, it means عبارة, it's a name, أما لزمنا من الأحكام ابتداءً. It is the name of those rulings which have become compulsory upon us from the onset. This is the original ruling. سميت عزيمة لأنها في غاية الوكادة لوكادة سببها. Because they're extremely firm, they're extremely solid, built in, like, because when the asbab are solid, like the asbab of time, Ramadan, Nisab, etc. وهو كون العامل. Are you saying what's sabab? No, I said why sabab is, the sabab is not the sabab of, we mentioned previous, sabab is not the sabab. My mistake. That way I said not, it's not correct. وهو, what's the sabab? هو كون الآمر مفترض وهو كون الآمر مفترضا يعني مفترض ها؟ No حركة. So وهو كون الآمر is the ism to مفترض الطاعة. Yes, the Amir is مفترض طاعته. So the Amir, his ta'a is compulsory. So مفترض اسم الفاعل, الطاعة is a مضاف إليه, which is a fa'il of مفترض, and من اسم الفاعل is مضاف to a, is fa'il, it gives the meaning of شبه مشبه باسم الفاعل, meaning a long-term quality. So the Amir, who's the Amir? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Sharia. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is wajib al-ta'a. His ta'a is farz. بحكم أنه إلهنا. Why? On what ground? Because our ilah, وَنَحْنُ أَبِيدُهُ. So Allah is a hakim, he's a sabab. Of its asbab are what Allah has placed on for us. The time, the month, the nisab, the bayt. And the asal is the khitab. So which one you want to attribute it to? So the khitab comes from the Amir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is our Lord, we are his slaves. So therefore his ta'a is muftarid, compulsory upon us. Yes? So therefore whatever command he initially places upon us is azima, is compulsory, is binding, is strong, is firm. فهمت? Yes. وأقسام العزيمة ما ذكرنا من الفرض والواجب. So wajib and farad, he calls those azima. That these have been binding and made compulsory upon us. And in rukhsa, وأما الرخصة فعبارة عن اليسر والسهولة. It means here, لغة, it means ease, سهولة. Yes. We have here, for example, we say أسعار رخيصة. Cheap prices, meaning the low, the easy, not hard to pay. Yes. وفي الشرع صرف الأمر من عسر إلى يسر. It means to change the ruling from something which is in the wakada, strong, firm, difficult in some sense, to something easier, relatively. بواسطة, on what grounds? On the grounds of an udhr in the mukallaf. The abd, he has some kind of udhr. Because of this udhr, what do? The ruling changes from the original ruling, which is azima and usr, ila yusrin. Okay? وأنواعها مختلفة لاختلاف أسبابها وهي أعذار العبد. And the different types of rukhsa are different because of the different asbab. And the asbab of rukhsa is the udhr of the abd. So when the abd has some kind of udhr, you can have sickness, you can have marad, you can have all of these different things. These different asbab then bring about different rukhas. Fahim? However, he says here, in the end of all of these types of rukhas that we have, in the end, all of these ta'ulu ila naw'ain, all of these return to, the ultimately come down to, boil down to two categories. They ultimately boil down to how many categories? Two categories. أحدهما رخصة الفعل مع بقاء الحرمة بمنزلة العفو في باب الجناية. Okay, he's saying one type of rukhsa is, there's an azim, a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to go against that command, or to go away from that command, either you ignore it totally, or you do only a partial aspect of it. That's a rukhsa. So the first type of rukhsa is, there's a ruling. And the ruling doesn't change. It still remains haram. It still remains impermissible. It still remains for us to adhere to that command. But because of your udhr, you have been excused. But the ruling still says the same. For example, it's similar to al-affi babil jinaya. Yes? So I think the jinaya, the ruling of that jinaya is, if you forgive him afterwards, it became permissible for him to do jinaya. The jinaya and the violation of the person's, that you cut him, you wounded him, etc. It still remains impermissible, but you've overlooked it, saying, okay, that's haram and impermissible to harm somebody, wound somebody, but it still remains haram, but it's been overlooked. And a similar example of this is إجراء كلمة الكفر على اللسان. To say words of kufr on the lisan is impermissible. Yes? Yes? However, if you have an udhr, what's an udhr? Severe, extremely severe bodily harm or fear of death. This is an udhr from the abd. So in this rukhsa, what happens is, we say the ruling of this, of saying words of kufr remains the same, it's haram. But because of your udhr, it's a rukhsa. But the rukhsa is such that it remains impermissible, however you are excused. You understand? So this is the example here. مَا إِتْمِنَانِ الْقَلْبِ إِنَّ الْإِكْرَاهَ. If you are forced to, and forced meaning is here you could go under severe bodily harm or fear of life. So in this situation, you're allowed to do what? Do other words of kufr as long as your heart is firm on this. Yes? But the still the action is haram, but it's forgiven. Yes? Similarly, وَسَبُّ النَّبِي صلى الله عليه وسلم, to curse Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to destroy somebody else's wealth, to kill somebody else oppressively. So if you don't kill him, I'm going to kill you. If you don't destroy his, if you don't like shatter his car window, I'm going to shoot you in your foot. Because well, getting shot in the foot is much more dangerous than harming his car. So I can just repair it, get it fixed again. If I get shot in my foot, for life, I could have some kind of everlasting wound under it. So you got a choice. وَحُكْمُهُ, what's the ruling of this? أَنَّهُ لَوْ صَبَرَ. Because it remains haram, but you're excused from doing it, you don't get a sin because of you're being forced. So the ruling in this situation is, if you do sabr, what does he do? He gets killed. يَكُونُ مَأْجُورًا لِامْتِنَاعِهِ عَنِ الْحَرَامِ. Because he abstained from doing a haram. He says, you can kill me, I'm not going to do other words of kufr. I'm not going to swear the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'm not destroying somebody else's wealth. I'm not killing another Muslim. Why is he going to be rewarded? تَعْظِيمًا لِنَحْلِ الشَّرْ. Because he's saying, it's haram, I'll be forgiven, but I'm not going to do a haram. So this will be rewarded. The second type is تَغْيِيرُ صِفَةِ الْفَعْلِ. The actual fa'l changes. Because of your udhr, for you the ruling has changed. It's now mubah for you. في حقه, for you it's mubah. Like for example, you can have a situation where one thing is halal for somebody, haram for another person. For example, salah is farad for a lady, but in hayd becomes haram. Zakat money is haram for a ghani, halal for a faqir. You see, you can have it in it. Umrah is mustahab, but it's haram during the days of Hajj. So it changes with different people, different hay'ah. Are you following? Yes? So similarly, what we're saying here is that you have a situation where the fa'l is haram, but for you it changes, and now it becomes mubah. For example, فَمَنِ اسْتُرَّ فِي مَخْمَسَةٍ. Whoever is forced in hunger, مَخْمَسَة means مَجَاعَةٍ. وَذَلِكَ نَحْوُ الْإِكْرَاءِ عَلَى أَكْلِ الْمَيْتَةِ وَشُرْبِ الْخَمْرِ. Somebody says here, you must eat. So one is you are forced, like you extreme hunger or poverty. You can't find anything except, like for example, we have right now in Gaza, you have like dead donkeys and you have dead cats and eating all this kind of stuff. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them afiyah and safety. Yes? So, in there, the mustar. Somebody forces you must eat this dead, you must drink alcohol. You must eat this dead carrion. Yes? So we say here, وَحُكْمُهُ لَوْ إِمْتَنَأَ أَنْ تَنَاوُلِهِ حَتَّى قُتِلَ يَكُونُ آثِمًا بِإِمْتِنَائِهِ أَنِ الْمُبَاحِ. Now because this thing has no longer become, it's not haram for him. When he's forced and he knows for sure that right now, if I carry out this action, I'm going to have severe bodily harm, my life is at stake. That shurbul khamar becomes like shurbul asir, like drinking orange juice for him. So if he didn't drink orange juice, somebody killed him, what we say the ruling is, you got yourself killed, وَصَالَ قَاتِلِ نَفْسِهِ. As if he got himself killed. He killed himself by not drinking orange juice. So even though it's haram, relative to all other Muslims, for you becomes halal. So then you drink it. Don't put yourself in this difficulty. So أكل الميتة مخمصة. So if you die, you're starving, and only food you have is something which is haram. You can eat it. But obviously, you only eat it. You shouldn't have this karaha in your heart, and you shouldn't eat more than necessary. But it's halal for you. So basically, that's become like chicken, normal chicken for us. Yeah. So in their right, it's like mubah. So now they should eat it. This is the general ruling. I mean, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judge different people and different things. And because some of these issues, like for example, if you're a scholar, you're muqtada, somebody's following you, they look up to you as a hujjah. You prove a point against a zalim. You're not just simple. Again, you learn a lot of masail, but a lot of sometimes masail have circumstances. So all of the masail will look in a vacuum just by itself. Certain times you can have certain additional clauses which can slightly modify the rule, and this comes with experience, tajriba, reading more juz'iyat and etc. more furu'. So, but this is a general basic ruling. Understood? So this is the ruling of rukhsan azima. Understood? سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك.